In this video, we will discuss the fundamentals of creating parameters, and we will look at how to create a parameter for selecting the household that you would like to generate a report for. The starting point for creating a parameter to select households you would like to generate reports for would start in the Power BI desktop. What is needed is a table that includes a unique value for each household in your database. Here we have 7 households with a unique value for each household in the table. In other words, we don't have any duplicate rows in this table. In column 1, we have the household name. In column 2, we have the household ID. The problem is that sometimes a household name is not unique. You may have a household of households and a household with the same name, or you could have 2 families with the same name in your database. So what we're going to do is combine the household name and the household ID to be sure that we have a unique value that identifies each household in your database. So here we have these 2 columns. The first thing I will do is duplicate the household name. I will duplicate the household ID, and then I'm going to merge these 2 columns. I'll select this column and then this column. I will right click and select merge columns. That will give me a column with the household name connected to the household ID to be sure that we have a unique identifier for each household in the database. The last thing I'll do is simply reorder the column so that that column is first in the table. So now when this data set is published to the Power BI line application, this table will be available to select from within the Power BI Report Builder. Now here in Report Builder, we have a data set that's been used to create a chart as well as a table. And when we generate the report for a household, we'll need a parameter to select the household or households to generate that report for. So from here, I'm going to right-click on the data set and select Query. And now we're in the Query Designer. And I'm going to create parameters for this report. I'm going to select from the household list that we created in the Power BI data set. I'm going to use this data set to establish my parameters because I know that we have a unique value for each household within this table. So back in the Power BI Report Builder, from the household list data set, I'm going to select my household index, which is the combination of my household name and my household ID. That's my first parameter, and I'm going to select the box over here and designate it as a parameter. And I'm also going to select the household ID and designate this as a parameter as well. I will click OK, and now I have those 2 fields designated as parameters. If I right-click on a parameter and select Parameter Properties, I have some options for establishing properties for the parameter. I have various data types I can choose from. This will be text. I'm going to set this up so that we can select multiple households, but we won't allow nulls and we won't allow blank values. In this case, I want my parameter to be visible. And the available values will be, I'll just select the household index. My first field is the parameter value. And my second field will be the parameter value caption indented. I won't need any default values, and I don't need any advanced options. So I'm going to click OK. With the second parameter, here's the name, the prompt that will be seen. You could also change this so that it's something more easily recognizable, so I can change this to household ID. Again, this will be a text. I will not allow blank values. I'll allow multiple values. The parameter will be visible. Available values, again, household ID, parameter value, parameter caption indented, and no default values, no advanced settings. The next thing I need to do is, because the parameter is from a different table, I'm going to go to household ID and right-click, select Field Properties. Under Filters, this has already been set up, but under Filters, what I want is the household ID for the report will be based on the household list parameter that is selected. So the household ID for the report will equal the parameter value household ID. And to find that field, what you would do is, we'll add this again, the household ID will equal, I'll click on the function icon here, click on parameters, and the parameter I would like to select is the household ID. I'll double click on that, I'll click OK, and now the household ID for the report will equal the household ID parameter that's selected when I generate the report. I'll click OK, and now I can go ahead and run my report. If I would like to view my parameters, I can scroll to the top and click on parameters, If I want to move them, I can drag them into another space. You can also remove some columns or rows. If I right click on a column here, I can delete this column. So I have control over the layout of the parameter options. Also, if I wanted to rename this parameter, I can click on the household index and right click parameter properties. So now I'll go ahead and run the report. I'll select my index, and that'll actually automatically select the household ID within the Power BI online application. This household ID will be automatically selected. I'll click on View Report, and there's the report for that household that I had selected. Of course, I could change the formatting and change the layout, but this will give you a general idea as to how to set up your parameters and generate the report for a particular household. There are other parameter options for selecting dates, or you can set true, false, or Boolean parameters where you may want to hide certain elements. So there's many other features of the parameters, but this will give you a general overview of how to set up your households as parameters and generate the reports for the households you would like to process reports for.